If you just are joining in, this is the morning ritual for guitar growth, and you can determine whether you'd like to stay or not. I would encourage you to stay. If you're a guitar player, go ahead and grab your guitar and join us for a brief tune-up session. And well, I can see we had a couple one or two drop off there. I guess tuning and breathing isn't it's not for everybody. Especially that breathing thing, wow. I don't like to breathe a lot. But it is. I've been setting this guitar up for a couple of days. So it's been kind of touch and go here with intonation and tuning. Can you play Amazing Grace? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, new strings, good. Yeah, you got me. You got me guilty as charged. No alibi. And alright, so I think we're ready to go. 4 minutes in and I think we might be ready to go. Oh, Anthony's here, we're definitely ready to go. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the morning ritual for guitar growth. So stick around. We have a wonderful morning program set for this morning, and bring your guitar, we'll grab your guitar, and we'll work on playing some songs together later on. But right now, we're just getting ready to start our morning ritual for guitar growth. So you, my friend, are just in time. Fingers 3 and 4 on frets 11 and 12. 1 E and 4 attacks per beat. We may even jump up to 5 and 6 attacks per beat today, later on. So once we get going, so 1 E and 2 E and 11 and 12, 3 and 4, go. And this is with the pick. I know it's tough to see exactly what all I'm doing here because of my camera skill or whatever, but it is doing down up, alternating back and forth with the index and middle. I'd love to join Raoul fingerstyle today, but just this morning I broke off my middle finger, so I'll be using nubs if I do that. So I'll let that finger grow for a few more days and then maybe resume a fingerstyle approach in the coming week. But for now, what we're working on is very clean and very simple. Down, up, and I'm working on keeping my pick, and it seems like my pick hand is moving around an awful lot this morning, and I just wanted to remind you that as we start getting up there in tempo, it's really important to have this, for me at least, for my physical shape, the way my guitar body is working, to have this really, I'm going to illustrate this, but I'm going to use fingers 2 and 3, so you don't really need to see what's going on here. Okay? But I'm going to focus on the right hand, and I'm trying to show you, I want to share with you how it feels like I'm leading a little bit with the wrist. So there's a little bit of a wrist, there's a turn here, you'll notice. But I think if we get into higher tempos, that kind of picking will help us eliminate the sort of the bounce. But we'll talk about it. Let's get going. So fingers 2 and 3 on frets 11 and 12. 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a go E and a. It's a beautiful song. It's the last song I heard at my buddy's funeral. Oh man, our condolences for certain. Glad to have you here. 1954 custom line. Yes, cat. That can be a little terrifying, but don't forget to breathe. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. And then we'll go ahead and get back to business as usual with fingers 1 and 2, 11 and 12. So here we go. Hey, Mr. Husband, on board here. Dan, good morning. And Bernard, Grand Rising. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Raising the sun for the rest of more people in the nation. I was thinking about this. What country are you from? Who are you speaking to? Hey, Ben. It's like being on a conference call and never quite know who's talking to who, right? So, hi, I'm Barry, the chair, and I would like to address this question too. So that can be helpful sometimes, but I think we're from all over Mogamet. I think we're from all over the place. United States, Spain, Germany. I don't know, I think we have records from probably 50 countries in the world, I think. And speaking to, oh, okay, yeah. We are in the Eastern Standard Time, so that would be the East Coast of the United States. Where are you from? And we're just working through, if you're just tuning in, I wanted to just say welcome and stick around because this is going to get pretty wild here a little bit. We have a good program. We run this morning ritual for Guitar Growth every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is a place for us to grow as people, but this is pretty much we're primarily interested in building our skills as guitar practitioners, right? So we're taking a look at frets 10 and 12 on low E string, and we're using fingers 3 and 4. We're introducing that little stretch. We do this every weekday morning, and so we're doing this every weekday morning, like seriously for 2025. And some of us have already been noting a record amount of personal guitar gain, and now we're moving on to world domination. Finger pickers took over the world. So sometimes we'll finger pick, sometimes we'll flat pick. Today I'm flat picking. Today, it's day number 3 of Bluegrass Week. That's also kind of a truism here. So fingers 10, 12, 2, 3, and 4, 10 and 12. Here we go. A 1E and a 2Z and a almost. Hey Ben. BP Records. What's going on this morning in the house? South Africa. Good morning, South Africa. Welcome and thank you for being here. What a great opportunity to pick his brain. Yeah. All right. What are you looking for? Are you guys jamming? Like, do you have like a list of, do you bring in a real book over? Do you have like a fake book or a list of songs? Are you guys doing some reading or just sort of like guitar? My hand's getting really tight here, so let's go ahead and and shake that one out. We'll head on over to fingers 2 and 3. 1 E and a 2 E and a, E and a. So what we're doing here today, we didn't get too involved. We started talking yesterday primarily about the bluegrass scale that I like to call. It's not necessarily the bluegrass scale, but it's a combination scale, and we'll review some chord strums where we started, from the place from whence we played, and then we'll move on to what we did yesterday for review. Then we'll start today with the building out of intervallic voicings, so that we can get that extended sound, like Mr. Tony Rice, and Tony Rice is very good at sort of doing those extended, very powerful style of voicing. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that. We'll be sure to prioritize that and fit all of this in within the span of 1 hour today. So we'll be finished and off to our next thing by 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's free. This whole thing is free. If it's something that you want to do, I'm going to be here all year doing this. And it won't always be the same thing. There's always something a little different, especially at the end, like the last quarter of the session. So fingers 1 and 2 on frets 10 and 12. And the same thing, finger stretch. 1 E and 2 E and A, 1 2 E. Bottom leaves and blues. He knows I'm a Gotta start somewhere. I want to get up and do jazz jam someday. Yeah, that's a good idea. So it's a funny story, like where you can talk with him about where like bop or bebop came from. It was like just to ask him like about getting up on those jams if he has any of that sort of narrative going. It wasn't our music, you know what I mean? It wasn't intended to be our music. It was intended to be unobtainable, and it's a wonderful art form to pursue. But Autumn Leaves is a classic, isn't it? It's a classic. That seems to be the one to work on. There's another one, a really great song called Now's the Time that you might enjoy. Right? It's a really fun one to play. Red Play. Little Sunflower is a really great one. Little Sunflower is great. I prefer that. It'd be a really fun one for you guys to get on. Right, Little Sunflower. Fingers 2 and 4, and frets 9 and 12, but I'm sure he'll have some wonderful ideas to share too. So 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a O. Fingers 2 and 4 on 9 and 12. And if you guys haven't been checking out Raul's channel for a while, if you have been there, you'll know that I checked it out. I've been checking it out, following him along. And he's been working on these really wild finger exercises where he's coming through, 3 fingers kind of remains on the same string, same exercise, but one of the fingers will sort of go, it will be displaced to another string every time around, every time through the cycle. Very, very challenging finger work. So if you, one of his, I forget which number video it is, but you get a bunch of different things going on. I was speaking about video number, is it 53? No. Let me have a little bit of that. There's a specific example I'm unable to recall, but it's worth checking out. So 1 and 3, same exercise, frets 9 and 12. 2 E and a T E and a O E and a. Can you play A Man Who Sold the World? Oh, Sophia is back. Hey, Sophia, 314. I can't believe those 2 things stay far enough apart to do that one. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? It's it takes a little bit of working to do that, and then a lot of breaths, right? And occasionally what will happen is if I push the guitar onto the other lap, it gives my forearm, let me take a quick break, it gives my forearm a more direct line, a more perpendicular straight angle to the guitar neck, therefore improving my range and my reach. So let's start this from the beginning here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, you can catch up if you want. So changing the lap, if you're just changing the lap and changing your body mechanics sometimes will solve the problem. So we can definitely work around that and certainly encourage you to stick with it. You know, you probably already have enough stick-to-itiveness to just kind of hang out. You know better than just to give up on the thing. The only people who don't win are the ones who quit, right? That's literally how it works. It's just so easy, so simple. Still got to work on this guitar necessary, but all right. Let's take a look at fingers 1 and let's go ahead and stretch 1 and 4. We'll go to frets 8 and 12. 1 E and a 2 E and a E. Now what to do? Just a fourth. Another play on the 4th finger before we start moving on to 3 fingers. Oh yeah, Anthony, I see you're going to get him into that jazz jam, so that, you know, I have a feeling you just kind of command any situation you roll into anyway, so you'll be fine. And you're humble, I like that. But one of the things I love about you is I can't do this. Victor, we put close your eyes, smile, listen, and feel. Jazz player, that's a good. You ever watch Keith Jarrett play the piano? Anybody watch Keith Jarrett play the piano in his Standards Trio? It is almost time to stretch. Oh, it is time to stretch and smash that like button. You're right, Robbie, right on the money. You're keeping me. We started, we're 15 minutes in, exactly. We're just getting ready to start 3 fingers. And we've got the straight elbow, and we're doing the old pull for about 15 clicks. So let's rip through some of these comments whilst smashing that like button. Love your hat. Cool. It's a gift from my son. Yeah. Thank you. It's the old keep it patched hat. I love it too. And we were raised raised our kids in Tuckerman's Ravine on Mount Washington, and very, very high alpine situation. And you know, we were there lugging packs in, teaching the kids about indifference and the intolerance of, you know, the indifference. I think the grand indifference was part of their upbringing. So it's still resonant with them all today, even though they're grown, man-child, woman-child now. So good morning, Sophia. Finally, I get to say that. I just read it. Autumn Leaves has so many variation and versions. Great tune. Mike Stern does a great Autumn Leaves. I saw him do it live one time where he's like literally coming out of the primordial ooze and then into way out into the ends of the, right to the edge of the barrier, the end of the heliosphere, the end of the universe, and then kind of back to the song. Like, it was just, he's a really wild cat. He's cool. Cool comes from the word, the use of the word cool comes from, you know, you being okay with certain things happening. You can't enter the room when you knock unless you're cool with what's going on in that room, you know what I mean? Sophia, hey, I don't want to have another birthday. Are you having a birthday? Morning, in 9 days is my birthday. I'm going to buy a banjo. Wow. You getting yourself a brass ring, or what do you, is that, you going with the brass ring? What kind of banjo are you looking for? In 9 days, I'm going to buy myself a banjo. That's a great thing. That's a great goal set. Very exciting. Can you play man? So, oh yeah, Panda. So hey, welcome. Sorry to come back to that. I can, but I wanted to welcome you to the morning ritual for guitar growth, and this happens every. Let me re-say that. Welcome to morning ritual for guitar growth. happens every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to personally invite you and any newcomer who's watching now to grab a guitar and join us at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard every weekday morning for the entirety of the year 2025. We will be improving ourselves first, becoming more highly skilled and revered, at least more confident guitar practitioners in our own right, and that's going to happen from it. We're taking the first video, right? The first video we did, and we're going to take the last video we do. We're going to compare the two videos. So I would recommend if you're joining and you're playing along to start taking snapshots of where you are now, if you haven't done so yet, so that way we can compare with where we are now to where we will be at the end of this sequence. Very big gains are coming, and we're being rewarded for our good work. So that's what's happening right now, and maybe we have time to play some requests later on. So thank you very much for the requests. I really appreciate it. I don't want to have another birthday. I wish I could just stay the same age. Yeah, totally get it. All right. Three fingers. So fingers 2, 3, and 4 on frets 10, 11, and 12. And here we go. 33. 1 and then 2 the end, and you know what to do. 5. Oh, I missed it. Self-moderation's good. I find advantages to being older, but we're sure we can all remain young for sure. Music helps. Diet and exercise is a big part of it. Do you like classic or Spanish guitar? So, is this a group question? I like both of those. Absolutely. I have one of my favorite guitars has a Cypress top, and you can hear that guitar. You can hear that guitar in a track that I cut in 2013. I still have the guitar. It's just a beauty. It's a rare beauty. It's a song called. It's an award. Actually, I won some awards with the song. It's called "Deep Within Love," and it's on my Rebirth album, 2013 Rebirth album. Jason J. Carey Rebirth, and it's got the song Deep Within Love it's got some beautiful classical guitar melodies in it. It's a song I think you might like. It's really got some really nice melodies and great messaging and heartwarming, great time. And the acoustic guitar player is one of my Morgans. Took it out of the stable for that one. Alright, and fingers 1 and 2 and 3, here we go. 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, T, and go, and you know what to do. That's a good question, BP Records. Winner never wins, winner never quits. Learn from poker. There you go. Is Panda, is this becoming a thing here? Problem solved. 1 and a 2. Let's start again. T, E, and a bogey. E, and that is here. I almost time to stretch this. Oh wow, I got way behind. Oh man. Sometimes I think I'm keeping up, but I'm way behind. I think it's breath, and I think it's, I don't know, sometimes I'm guilty of letting it fly all over the place, but right now you can see I'm really trying to keep it in the same place. It's a mind over matter thing, and I'll show you a great finger exercise. Remind me about that right after this. I'll show you a great finger exercise I like to do even when I'm playing the guitar, even without having the guitar in my hand, right? It's more than just creative visualization. It's just, I'll show you a little exercise we can do while we're without guitar. Sans guitar. Glad we woke up live today. Good. Let's just do that. That way. Prince did count days, so he didn't count years. let's take a quick look at that exercise. So the thumb is the fretboard. The thumb is the fretboard, and we have the index reaches to the fretboard, but each finger is going to remain still. So if I draw the index finger to the fretboard, all of the other fingers stay still. When I move one finger, all of the other fingers have zero movement. That's the goal. And then a lot of this has to do with watching the fingers move and watching the others stay still. Watch the finger move. It's a very slow, coordinated effort. Watch the other finger stay still. Don't move your thumb. Let your finger go to the thumb and then return to zero. And these are the meditative things that we do when we want our friends and family to think we're completely bonkers, right? Oh, we've been watching too many Hunter Thompson movies, you know. So here's fingers 1 and 2, and then 2 and 4. 2 and 4 is a little bit of a chore. Oh, but you can do it. So we've got 1 and 3, 2 and 4, 1 and 3, 2 and 4. And those exercises help with that kind of thing, right? So you've got the, and then 1 and 4, and then 2 and 3, and all of that stuff makes a big difference, and it all is centered around breath. Breath makes all of this happen for me. And let's go back to 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Oh, before we do that, let's do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4. All right, ready? 1, 2, E, and a T, E, and a O, E, and a 10, 11, 12, 9, 10, and 12. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4. Forget your piano story. Morning, Jason. All of you good folk. Oh, morning, TJ. Rocky. That's a great cover. I already bought one. Yeah, I think anytime you can play banjo, I think it's, I've got a few open backs too, to sound great. Actually, the open back banjo that is on that same Rebirth album, at the end of a song called River, and the song is being plastic. So the banjo there, that's open back, so it's a really cool instrument to have. So fingers 1 and 4 on, 1, 3, and 4 on frets 9, 11, and 12. Let's go ahead and do that right now. So 1 E and a 2 E and a U E, go E and a. Glad to have you here, TJ. Oh, hey, there we are. Them Dennis in the house. What a great band. What a wonderful band. Yes, I learned recently it's fun. So you play that too. Right. Oh, my chair. I'm much better today. Good, good. Yeah, I'm in no rush. I don't operate in any, I used to operate thinking that if the deal, but you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, a few times, it's like, if it's a good deal, the deal will be there tomorrow or a month, or if it's a fair deal, I think the deal is just worth not rushing over. Just get it right, and it'll happen when it needs to happen. But sometimes I do appreciate the need for time and experience to expedite the process too, especially in highly competitive environments. We tend to win a lot, So I have no, can operate anyway. to, let's get us over to fingers 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, because we do have some additional work to get through today. We are going to work on large, listen to this one. We're going to work on some large intervals later on, but stretch comes first. 1 E and 2 E and 1, 2, 3, 4, go E and Bluegrass Festival. Here we go. Control it yet. Well, the pinky needs to come off of the fretboard to give it, get some room. But I think watch this. If we descend and we progressively get further and further away, that's the problem that we need to solve. The pinky can float around and move around a little bit, but it really wants to be sort of like ready, in a status or a state of readiness. So we can 1 E and descend here, position 4, go. The problem I used to have is, and it took me, I think, months to overcome, maybe weeks or days, but once you focus on it, it'll be gone before the problem with the pinky will be gone. It's not even really a problem. So the thing is that as soon as we are aware of the thing we are wanting or willing to change, now it's just a matter of executing that will. And I have an undying willpower to survive, says my pinky finger. Oh yeah, bluegrass festivals were a lot of fun. Wild times. See, when I'm going to a concert, I want to play guitar with other people. Oh, nice. That's a good choice. So, if I wanted to play guitar with other people, I don't have to worry about time or metronomic, subdivided. I don't have to worry about rhythm or counting or anything. If I'm playing by myself, what many of us call bedroom guitarists or bedroom musicians. We can just play and then on the front porch with our friends and not really care, especially if we're playing archaic blues, and, how do you know when it's time to play the E chord? Well, guess what? I just went for the E chord. But turns out there's a formulaic expression for a standard 12-bar blues pattern. But sometimes we want to do something like that. But playing with other people is really important to own our own ability to count and hold our place, be accountable for our own person rhythmically, right? So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. And that's one reason why I really love to play with the metronome, practice with the metronome. Over the course of the day, I leave this metronome set the way it is. I grab another metronome and I adjust it up to like 80, 90, about 10, about 20, and then work on all of these exercises at 120, and then I come back down to 60 before I go to bed at night. So I'll work over the course of the day, wake up to 60, push the metal a little bit, midday, early evening, and then kind of wind down if I get back with the guitar before I go to bed. If I'm using metronomics, then it's back down to 60 so I can sleep at night. Because it really can be a stimulating experience that isn't consistent with getting a good night's rest, At 120. But for some of us, it might work. Solace, Nirvana. I love the Nirvana. So we play most genres, but I'm a bluegrass player with all the instruments of bluegrass. That's wonderful. So myself, I have a fiddle, a upright bass before, so I'm a functional bass player for sure, but and definitely enjoy laying it down, but I'm not practicing it daily. So here's the ninth fret, ninth position, dropping that first finger back, 8, 10, 11, and 12. One E and a 2 E, 3 E and a go E. Yeah, it does take a little bit of time, doesn't it? The breath, there's no substitute for the time it takes to get that fourth finger. You know, and we look at it, and look at all of each finger as a family member. And we like to have family brunches every few weeks, and it's humanizing to have a member of the family be able to pass the butter without and feel like part of it. Giving me the giving each other the thing that we need to feed the person. So that's a very humanizing thing to sit around a dinner table or a brunch table or any table for that matter and share in a beautiful dining experience. But we don't ask the toddlers to pass the butter dish. But once they get old enough to figure it out, we certainly encourage them to learn how to take care of the container as they pass it. Hold carefully with one hand and keep the other hand underneath it because it's an expensive piece of crystal that we don't want damaged. It has value. And so we're teaching that fourth finger, the value of participating. And that value doesn't happen overnight. The same way we want to engage in speed or shred picking, you know what I mean? It just doesn't happen. It's not something that happens overnight. But if you stick with this program long enough, I guarantee one morning, one night, you're just going to try some shred lines and you are going to be like, oh, I get it. Questions, I guess. Let's see. How do you guys feel about jumping into switching gears? Let's start with, we started with G5. We started by strumming G5 with a little chip. And then we worked on whole Joe bar. Really simple, basic melody. Section, which is then we walk up and then down, up and then down, the open G, do the B section again for a second time. Oop. There we go, and then back to G, and then walking down. Walking back to G, starting over again with the main, or the A section. Okay. So we started working through a song, working through the chords that go with that song. there's 1, 2, flat 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 7, and 1. And that's a beautifully, perfectly bluegrass scale, combining the major and minor sonorities, thus blurring the lines between happiness or joyfulness and melancholy, which is a beautiful sort of American jazz, bluegrass sort of thing, right? It's all sort of like very similar now. I mean, it didn't used to be, but it's more common now than it ever has been, and blurring those lines. Off to work, Mark. Hey, have a good morning. Sorry to miss you off. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. And as always, Jason, you are a rock. Well, I do live a sedentary lifestyle sometimes, but working on that this Lent here as long as you can be safe, Mark. All right, so nothing. We have nothing here. I want to put Reggie back on the back end. Oh, hey. Good morning, nothing. All right, hey, all right. Arch Stanton Live. Hello. Maybe. Yes, I do that as well. Yeah, I mean, it's all about research and development. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and get us moving into the world of A-line, summertime sort of vibe, right? We have to go A, and then we're just doing which is the root 5, flat 7, and flat 3. And then we're moving that up to another version, another variation, still a minor 7 quality though. Really bright and really beautiful sound with root, the 6, flat 7, and then the 4, and then the open high E string if you like. Yeah. You can work out these little licks if you want. But that's really not what we're talking about today. What we're talking about is extending that chord to the point where Mr. Ross, I'm not sure you can use this one. This might be just a little burly for most of us, but what we're doing, we are coming from a Dorian mode. Anyone know anything about Dorian mode? I'm sure we all know about the old Dorian mode. The 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, and the 1. That natural 6 is happening here against that open A string. And so that leads us to ponder this question. If we stack a fourth, all of the notes, let's say I play G major,